If you look at your life and see a graveyard of half-finished projects, a guitar in the corner, a half-coded website, a box of baking tools, and last week you randomly decided you had to learn jujitsu, you probably know a very specific kind of shame. People have names for you. Dilettante, unfocused, the kind of person who can't stick with anything. You watch other people pick one lane, climb one ladder, and a part of you whispers, "What is wrong with me that I can't just choose and stay put?" Maybe you even use that quote as a weapon against yourself. Jack of all trades, master of none. But here's what almost no one tells you. That's not even the full line. The full line is, a jack of all trades is a master of none, but oftentimes better than a master of one. So maybe your problem was never that you're scattered. Maybe your problem is that nobody ever taught you what kind of mind you actually have. To understand why your brain refuses to stay in one lane, we have to talk about the game you were told you're playing and the game you're actually in. For most of the last century, the world worked like a polite board game. Clear rules, clear goals, clear feedback. If you practiced one skill for 10,000 hours, you won the prize. That's what psychologists call a kind environment, like golf or chess, where today looks a lot like yesterday, and tomorrow will reward the same narrow move over and over. But your life is not a golf course. You live in what researchers call a wicked environment. Rules changing mid-game, new technologies dropping out of nowhere, entire industries dissolving while you're still learning the jargon. In a wicked world, the hyper-specialist can become fragile. If the one ladder they climbed disappears, so does their identity. So when your interests keep drifting from wiring and HVAC to yoga, heavy lifting, DJing rave music, that might not be chaos. It might be your nervous system quietly refusing to bet everything on a single shrinking island. From the outside, your life looks like random hopping. To other people, it's first you were into wiring, then HVAC, then yoga, then lifting, then DJing. What are you doing? But inside your head, something very different is happening. You are quietly collecting patterns from completely different worlds and filing them away without even noticing. Psychologists call this far transfer. Specialists mostly use near transfer, solving familiar problems with the same tools in the same kind of environment. You do something rarer. You steal a structure from one field and drop it into another. Think about the web developer who used to be a beekeeper and a farmer. On paper, that history looks irrelevant. In reality, they deeply understand organic systems, cycles, feedback. So they don't just write code, they cultivate an ecosystem. That's what your brain is trying to do. You feel like an imposter because you're not the deepest specialist in any one lane, but your value was never supposed to live in one hole in the ground. It lives in the bridge, in your ability to connect holes into an actual map. By now, you might be thinking, okay, cool story, my brain connects dots, but I'm still tired, still broke, still behind everyone my age. You see people your age becoming senior VPs, lead engineers, people who picked one ladder and just climbed. Meanwhile, you're on your third or fourth pivot, still feeling like you're at the starting line. That feeling isn't proof you chose wrong. It's usually proof nobody taught you how an M-shaped life actually gets built. The people who pull this off, the real polymaths, don't build all their pillars at the same time. They practice something called serial mastery. They treat their life like seasons. Maybe your 20s are a music and art season. Your 30s become a programming for stability season. Later, design, psychology, or business gets its own season. You're not flaky for switching focus. You just can't pour concrete for 5 skyscrapers in the same week. You finish one foundation, let it set, then move to the next while the first one quietly starts paying you back. There's one more reason your too many interests are not a mistake. It comes from evolution, not self-help. In nature, redundancy is not waste, it's protection. Elephants rarely get cancer not because life is fair to elephants, but because their bodies carry extra copies of the same cancer-fighting genes. If one copy fails, another steps in. Your brain has been doing something similar with skills. If you're only a specialist software engineer and AI eats your entire field, of course you panic. But if you're a software engineer who can also wire a building, fix an HVAC motor, coach beginners, teach English, understand people, you don't love uncertainty, but you are not helpless in it. All those random hobbies, they were never random. They were you building a safety net in slow motion. So no, you were not wasting your time dabbling. You were quietly making yourself harder to erase in a world that erases careers overnight. And that is not a flaw. That is strategy. Knowing you're M-shaped is nice, but it doesn't magically pay your rent or stop burnout. So here's the part nobody taught you in school. You need rules that fit your kind of brain. Rule 1. Live in seasons on purpose. Stop trying to grow 5 pillars at once. Pick 1 to 2 active focuses for this season, not 10, and let the rest move into maintenance mode, not abandoned forever. Rule 2. Design around your energy, not your ego. 3 extra hobbies don't matter if you're too fried to enjoy any of them. Give your body non-negotiables: sleep, movement, quiet time. Those are what keep an M-shaped mind from melting down. Rule 3. Measure progress by synthesis, not job titles. Did 2 skills connect today? Did 1 weird combo of interests make something only you could have made? That's your scoreboard now. If this hit a little too close, tell me in the comments which pillar you're in this season. Send this to the friend who calls themselves all over the place, and hit subscribe if you want more videos that explain your brain instead of shaming it. You were never too much. You were never given instructions for the mind you actually have.